PC fam, what's going on? Happy Thursday. Welcome to another episode of Chill with Chill. Yeah, we are here to talk ball, nothing but just good hoop talk. We're not going to hold y'all too long because, as y'all know, Thursdays are a shorter day. So let's get straight into things. Chill, we have a couple injuries in the WNBA with Satola Sabali and Caitlin Clark as well. So
Sabali, who's Sabali play for?
The Mercury.
Okay, she with the Mercury.
She was with Dallas last year.
Right.
She got hurt last year, and I think that's what really tanked their season.
Yep.
She's been playing great this year. She's a baller. Her sister, I believe, plays for New York. She plays for the Liberty. Her sister's not quite as good as her, but she got some game too.
Yep.
So they'll be replaced. Sabali will be replaced with Breezy Jones.
Okay.
And Brittany Sykes is replacing Caitlin Clark.
Clark she re-aggravated her groin a couple of nights ago against Connecticut. The game was in TD Garden in Boston. They had a sold-out crowd. It's unfortunate because, she still got the goods. And to be honest with you, Ox, I think this is one of them situations with her where because she had the season she had last year and they expected more from her this year, I think she's rushing herself to get back. And that's why I think that injury is re-aggravating. It's getting re-aggravated again. On top of it getting re-aggravated, I think it's affecting her game too. So I don't think it's a bad idea for her, for lack of a better term, Ox, to just park it until she get correct. I don't think that's a bad thing for her to just park it.
I think that's a smart thing to do. Definitely think so. So that's that. If y'all don't know, the WNBA All-Star game will be this weekend in Indianapolis. So I'm going to think about it that way. It's got to suck for Caitlin to miss that at home too, with the home crowd. But
yeah, I mean that's what they came to see. Yeah. That's really what they came to see. In fact, that's why they had it in Indianapolis, because of her. I mean, I don't think that they would have had it in Indianapolis if she wasn't playing. I think they specifically had it in Indianapolis because of her. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to build it around her, and it's working. It's just she got injured, and I think she'll be back. It's just a matter of her just resting, because that groin ain't nothing to play with. It is nothing to play with, Ox.
Right. It's sat the best of them down. So
yes,
that's one of them ones that's hard. It's hard to play through, and to a certain extent, even impossible to play through. So. Well, that's that. In other WNBA news, if anybody cares to know this, A'ja Wilson now has more 30-point games than Bam Adebayo. I don't know if anybody. I don't know if there's any correlation. I don't know if that matters to anybody. But this figure, I got the information and I have to share it.
I can dig that, and a little bit out of context. I mean, she is the best player in the league. Her dude is arguably the best defensive big man in the league. Not as nearly as good offensively as her, but I mean, he still can get you a bucket here, and he can still get you a bucket, but he ain't the bucket getter that she is. So if we being honest, she's still the real deal. Let's be honest about that.
Yeah, that's why I had to remind everybody about today on the panel, Chill, because I mean, it's been a lot of talk about A'ja this year. Like, she's still not the best player. Well, Nafisa has come out and she's looking like today she might be the best player in the league. That's fine, but we're not going to talk about A'ja like she fell off a cliff. She turned it around and she's back. She's back. I believe she's second in the league in scoring and second in rebounding. Right, so.
Well, the problem, Mox, is when you're the best player in the league and you've been the best player in the league for multiple seasons, immediately when something happens that ain't even drastic. All right, let's not make it like, A'ja is averaging like 14 a game or something like that and like 6 rebounds. No, her scoring average went down just a little bit. It's not like she fell off a cliff. No, but because she's been hands down the best player in the game over the last 3-4 years, and now she's having a down season, that she fell off. Okay, relax, guys. Relax. No, she has not. No, she has not.
Okay, yeah, I had to check. I had to look it up, and that's what I thought. She is second in points. Nafisa is averaging 0.9 more points than her. Nafisa's averaging 23.2. Asia's averaging 22.3. Angel Reese has a sizable gap on the rebounds, about 3, but Asia's number 2. And she's also leading the league with 2.5 blocks per game. So
let's chill out,
yo. Come on, y'all.
Asia's
still that. She's still that. Nafisa's averaging 1 more point than her. And we can all agree that Asia started off the season very slow. So I'm pretty sure Asia will finish the season averaging the most points per game. That's just my take because she's still the best player in the world. But that's okay. We don't got to get too deep into that. Chill.
Yes, sir.
I saw something that I think you might like. The Boston Celtics. Y'all, listen up now. The Boston Celtics have been appointed. Looks like they're the favorite to land Damian Lillard.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean for Boston?
Well, Ox, you ever see like one of your homeboys? He bought a raggedy car, but he was like, "Yo, wait till I know what it looked like right now. You know, some rust on the side of it. These seats in here, they need to be, reupholstered. But wait till I fix it up. Wait till I fix this old classic up. I'm gonna have it looking. It's an older car, but I'm gonna have it looking like a classic. Hang on for a second. I think this is the prime time, if I'm being honest, to get Dame Lillard. And the reason why, one, because nobody's really particularly interested at this particular time. He's coming off an Achilles injury. Nobody knows if he's gonna get back. Nobody knows if he's going to get back to where he was. Nobody knows if he's going to ever play at that level again. All right. Well, that also means with Milwaukee paying him already, you could get him on the cheap. Like that car, Ox, that's rusty and it's a little bit raggedy. I could get it on the cheap. But wait till I fix this joint up. So with the Boston Celtics having one of the best training staffs, we could get Dame Lillard on the cheap. You got that scoring lead guard. You got Jaylen Brown already in the fold. Got Jason Tatum already in the fold. You're going to have a lot of dough next summer, and you got draft picks to go shopping to get what's necessary. You could have Damian Lillard in the fold and have him on the cheap. I personally think that this super team thing, I think it's over, to be quite honest with you. But to get Damian Lillard on the cheap, to be honest with you, and to have him back in the fold next season, not this season coming up, in the 26-27 season, where you've worked on him, you've worked with him, and he's super sharp. I mean, I don't think it's a ridiculous kid, Ox. He was playing at an all-pro level this year before he injured that calf. And then what happened in the playoffs? I actually had them beating Indiana. I thought that Giannis was just gonna dominate them. And the fact that they lost Damian Lillard was a big deal. I'm not gonna argue that point at all. It was a huge deal. But if he could get back to somewhat of what he was, because I don't think that the Boston Celtics need him to be 25, 30 a game. I don't think that they need that with him. I think that they need a solid lead guard. I think Damian Lillard would be more of a distributor. Not only would he be more of a distributor, I think he could be a solid third guy, knock down open shots, speed up the game a little bit, because I don't think his mobility is going to be completely gone. And most importantly, Ox, I think that you could get him on the cheap. And if you could get him on the cheap, and get him in Boston, I don't hate the fit. I don't hate it at all.
I mean, because Milwaukee, they're paying Dame, like they broke it down, right? To where it's going to be multiple years before they pay it off to him, right? So with that happen, 5 years, right? So with that happening, I'm assuming Dame would be more willing to work with them. You know what I'm saying? Or not, I think he'll sign for less, right? I think all Dame has to be is a threat. You know what I mean? Just all I think with a team like Boston, they still got Derek White. You know what I mean? Obviously, JT, JB, once they're, respect whatever their injuries are resolved. I think all Dame has to be is out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be all of this. It doesn't have to be Dame time. We don't need Dollar. You know what I'm saying? We need a league guard that can shoot the basketball. Dame can shoot the basketball. You know what I mean?
Here's the downside, though, Ox. The downside is that I don't got one guy. I got two guys coming off Achilles tears. I got both him and Jason Tatum. So between him and Jason Tatum, I don't know what this is going to look like, but because I don't know what this is going to look like, that doesn't mean that I can't at least try it, right? Because again, with Damian Lillard being 36 years old, it doesn't necessarily, because I've seen Chauncey Billups come back from the Achilles tear at an advanced age. He didn't suck, right? He could still play. Jason Tatum, on the other hand, 27, going on 28 years old. Jaylen Brown still in his prime. He'll be 29. I'd like to see what this thing looks like. I'd like to see what this thing looks like. I think that the Boston Celtics would shore up that front line. That means that Kate has got to get better. I still think that they made a mistake in passing on the big kid from Creighton, Balkan. Ryan. Yeah, I think that they made a mistake passing on him. But with that being said, I still think that with having Damian Lillard in the fold, to your point, I don't need 25 a game. I think that I'm still going to be able to get a guy who can still be sharp, who can still get downhill, who can still knock down open shots, who can still get by guys. And I think Dame at this point in his career, he's still smart enough, and I think he's still crafty enough that he can still get buckets at a high level. And with him being able to do that, I think that with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown supplementing that, I think that they'll be, especially in the Eastern Conference, I think that they'll be competitive.
Yeah, I can agree. And this is another thing too, Chill. Let's just have some fun. You know, it's Thursday. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time real quick, Chill. Let's say best case scenario, the Boston Celtics mess around and Jaylen Brown's like, hey, I probably shouldn't come back till January, February. And it's just the Anthony Simons and George Niangas show.
And
Cam Boozer?
Hey, matter of fact, if we doing that, Ox,
Cam Boozer?
Right. If we doing that, and that would not be ridiculous to think that, because they did that in '97. They was trying to get Tim Duncan. They was taking
the Warriors did it for James Wiseman. It didn't work out, but they did it.
They 100%
you know what I'm saying?
did that.
Don't talk about Steph broke his. Man, there ain't no wrong with that boy hand.
Okay, first and foremost, he broke his hand the third game of the season. I don't need to be out the whole season for the third game after the third game of the season, Ox. Give me a break, right? It don't take 8 months for my hand to heal. No, it does not. I broke my hand. Okay, I'm in a cast for 6-8 weeks, and I do another, I don't know, 4 weeks of rehab. I could be back by January. I'm good to go. Instead, this dude was out the whole season.
Look, first of all, Sonic, I would never advocate for tanking. All I'm saying, Jason Tatum tore his Achilles. Jaylen Brown's having knee surgery. You don't have to tank. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to tank. My two best players are hurt.
There it is.
And we're not going to rush them back. That's what I'm saying. They're hurt, and we're not going to rush them back.
What's the need to rush them back for, Ox? First of all, we're not winning it. It's not like next year, come January, or I don't know, come March. You know, we in first place in the Eastern Conference, and you know, we tied with, I don't know, Oklahoma City for the second best record or the best record in the NBA. That's not going to be going on. Right. I doubt very seriously that's going to be going on. So because of that, what's the sense in us rushing this thing? We don't have to hurry up. Not at all. Right.
Now, if Jason Tatum would have tweaked his ankle in the playoffs and Jaylen Brown would have had a hyperextension, and these dudes were gonna take their time to get to training camp this year, and then they ended up tanking for Cam Boozer, that would be a disgrace and a mockery in the game of basketball. I would never advocate for a thing like that. But with two guys that had serious injuries,
right?
Come on, man! Like, y'all got to think about that. Like, to me, you know how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I believe in self-preservation. I believe in not just jumping in fights I don't got no business being in. I'm not about to walk over there and get packed out for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Don't do
like,
that.
You bring it over here, then okay, we got to get down. But I'm not gonna go over there and just get involved in something I don't got no business being involved in. So why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? I can see it. Chill, we're having fun. It's Thursday. It's the summertime. Let's just enjoy the day. I can see an angle where next season, not this one, the next season, the Celtics come back and they got Cam Boozer on their team, and Jason Tatum is healthy again, and Jaylen Brown's healthy again, and Damian Lillard's their starting point guard.
Well, here's the thing too, Ox, that we definitely need to discuss. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, because we all having some fun right now. let's just say for the sake of argument that the Celtics win the lottery. The lottery was fixed. Oh, this is clearly a sham. It was fixed. There's no way the Celtics should be winning the lottery. Even though they only won 24 games that year, even though they were garbage, how did the Celtics win in the lottery? Because they sucked. Oh, they were tanking. Well, wait a minute. Okay, Jason Tatum, an Achilles injury. Jaylen Brown, a torn meniscus. Who y'all got on? Y'all told Joel Embiid to park it because he had a torn Achilles. He had a bad knee. But you want to rush Jaylen Brown back? You want Jaylen Brown to hurry up? No, I don't want Jaylen Brown to do that. So if we get to, even though the word is that Jaylen Brown should be good by training camp, but let's say for the sake of argument, he's not good by training camp, and they decide to bring him along slow. And then we get to January, and we're in, I don't know, 9th or 10th place in the East. Is it ridiculous to say that, we're shutting them down for the rest of the season after the All-Star break? Why? Why is that ridiculous to think that we shouldn't do that? Why? Because next year's draft is going to be really good, number one. Number two, we're going to have a lot of money in free agency. They're already dangling Anthony Simons, and they just got him. They're already dangling him. And he's going to come off the books, which I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you, Ox, if at the trade deadline that they didn't get something for him, because I can't see Brad Stevenson just letting him walk out the front door. Nah. Mm-mm.
Well, Anthony's on the expiring.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. See, I mean, obviously, with Jason and Jaylen both having their injury situation, that's never a good thing. But the Celtics aren't in a bad situation for the near future, at least. So this year is a wash, but for the year after that and year after that, maybe the year after that, depending on where they land in the draft, the Celtics are not in a bad situation, and they got a lot of money off with getting rid of Drew and Kristaps. I would be if I'm Brad Stevens, I'd be excited for the future. I'd be pretty excited.
This is a gap year, and because you can't have a gap year when you don't have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, right? You can have a gap year when you got not necessarily Giannis, because Giannis is a little bit older and we don't want to waste any of his years, but with a younger Jason Tatum who will be back by the time he's 28. Same thing with Jaylen Brown, who just turned 28. I mean, like, we can afford to have a gap year. San Antonio did it in the 90s. Dave Robinson wins the league MVP in 95. In 96, in the 95-96 season, he ends up hurting his back. In 96-97, they end up tanking. They get Tim Duncan. 97-98, they back in the playoffs. And in 99, they win the NBA championship. So why is it ridiculous to think that we can't do that here? You can have a gap year, sure. You can 100% have a gap year.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I got my wheels turning. I'm wondering who could use Anthony Simons. You know, it's gonna be cool to look out for. I wonder what's gonna happen in the trade at the deadline, y'all. Let's pay attention to that. Let's definitely pay attention to that. You know, Chill, we just did yesterday. We did the show. We did the top 10 teams, right? That didn't win the championship. Top 10 runner-ups, and it was actually pretty fun. I wish we could have did that for the whole episode, and we could have really broke into those teams even a little more than we did already. So I want to talk to you about 3 teams. And I want to do a start bench cut situation, right? So we have this year's Pacers, last year's Mavericks, and then the year before that, 2023's Miami Heat. Let's do a start bench cut, and let's talk about those 3 runners up.
So if I think about whose road was tougher, so we'll start with whose road was tougher, and I think Dallas's road was tougher considering they were in the Western Conference, and I think being in the Western Conference, it was a little bit more difficult. So having to go through SGA and that Oklahoma City team, having to go through that Minnesota team that ended up in the Western Conference Championship, right? Having to go through those guys, I would have to, in terms of runs, I would have to say that Dallas, I would start them. Now, between Miami and Indiana, if I'm not mistaken, Ox, I think Indiana was the underdog in every last one of those series. I think they were the underdog. So I had to go through Giannis in Milwaukee, even though Dame got hurt in the first in the first part of that series, but they were the underdog. That was a very difficult series. With them being an underdog, they ended up winning that. Then they go up against the number 1 seed Cleveland Cavaliers, who Mobley, Hunter, and I want to say Jared Allen, Mobley, Hunter, and somebody else, and Mobley, Hunter, and somebody else missed the game, but one game. They still ended up winning that series. And then they end up beating the Knicks in a dogfight in the Eastern Conference. And then they get to the NBA championship where they are Tyrese Halliburton getting hurt away from really having a shot to win this thing. So between them and what the Knicks run, not the Knicks, I'm sorry, what the Miami Heat run was, okay, so the Miami Heat have to go through a
Giannis?
Yeah, a Giannis team, which Giannis got hurt, but he still came back. He was fantastic. He still was awesome. And then that Knicks team, they were also beat up. Julius Randle was beat up, but so was Jimmy Butler. I think he missed the game in that series. He rolled his ankle. But they ended up beating them. And then they ended up beating the Celtics. They were up 3-0 in that series and almost choked it. Yeah.
Y'all said what y'all want about Miami. They
almost choked it.
Miami did their thing, too.
They did. I'm not going to argue that point, Ox. But I think that I'm not going to give Miami the benefit of the doubt because they dug themselves out of a hole. Meanwhile, Dallas was in this hole right from the beginning, just being in the Western Conference and getting to the finals. So I'm going to start Dallas. Ooh, Ox, I'm going to bench Miami and I'm going to cut Indiana.
I think I might agree with that. I'm even having trouble about 23 versus 24. I want to start Miami and bench Dallas personally, but I see what you're saying. Just coming out the West though.
Yeah,
I do see. That's a tough one.
That is a very tough one, Ox. Because I'm thinking about not. You know what? I got to go back, Ox. I'm going to start Indiana. And the reason why I'm going to start Indiana because none of us had Indiana in the NBA championship.
Ooh.
None of us had Indiana in the NBA championship. I'm
crazy switch up. All right, chill.
I'm starting Indiana because none of us had Indiana in the NBA championship. And we all talk about circumstances in terms of getting to the NBA championship and winning it. So they still had to play. And they did that. They end up getting by Milwaukee and Giannis, who was virtually unstoppable in that series. Destroyed them, and he still overcame him. Then we moved to Cleveland. This is a team that was on their way to winning close to 70 games, won 64 games. Number one seed in the Eastern Conference.
Everybody was hurt.
No, just one. We only lost. We had them dudes. We lost one game, right? We lost one game with them dudes hurt. That was it. Other than that, you and I actually had the conversation, Ox, where Donovan Mitchell actually got up. The test wasn't even over. He only finished 3/4 of the test. He wasn't even done. He just got up and left, and the test wasn't even done.
Mm-hmm.
So he was on the floor and he was averaging like 40 a game at one point in this series for almost half the series until they figured it out. The way that Jared Allen, the way that Miles Turner and Neesmith and all of those guys played in that series, and then after handling them dudes in 5 games, by the way, not beating them, handling them dudes in 5 games, you go to New York, you win game 1 and game 2. You go into their building and drop them in both of those games, come back, they end up getting some get back, and then you go back there and you end the series. And then you go to the NBA championship where you're literally a game away and Tyrese Halliburton injury away from really having a shot to win the NBA championship. Dallas didn't have any shot against Boston. Boston wiped the floor with them dudes. That series should have been over in 4. They really should have.
Boston was better. That Boston team better than this OKC team.
I ain't gonna argue that. Nope, I will not. I will not argue that. So what I'm gonna do, Ox, I'm gonna start Indiana.
Okay.
I'm benching Miami, and I'm cutting Dallas. Now that I think about it,
Dallas is cut.
Dallas is out. No, Dallas is OUT out.
Yeah.
They out. Even though they was in the top of Western Conference. Now that I'm thinking about it, and I'm not just this Eastern Conference homer, even though I am a little bit biased toward the East. But I just think that those runs between both Indiana and Miami were more substantial than what was going on with Dallas. So I'm starting Indiana, I'm benching Miami, and I'm cutting Dallas. Because what I saw from Jimmy Butler in that Milwaukee series, how he completely destroyed them, not just outplayed Giannis. He didn't just outplay Giannis, destroyed them. Yeah. This is the same Drew Holiday who was an all-league defender an all-league defender, and to why Ox, I was genuine. I ain't say nothing to y'all dudes about this, but I was genuinely hurt about what Jimmy did to him. That really bothered me. I ain't like that at all. I did not like that at all. What
he did to Drew?
I ain't like that at all. I was heartbroken over that.
Chill. I think I lost a little sleep over that.
I didn't like that at all. I really was upset with Jimmy. Like, yo, y'all don't let him do that thing. Oh,
it was the conflict was that I'm really high on Jimmy. The conflict is that I love Jimmy Butler.
Yes,
but when I'm talking about Drew Holiday, somebody that I hold up here. I hold Drew Holiday in a on a pedestal that I don't hold many people. And so when I saw that and I saw the look of defeat in Drew Holiday's face, I was like, I cannot believe what I'm watching.
For Jimmy to just completely dominate him, and not only dominate him, what it remind me of is it remind me of football when a team runs the football and they tell you that we're gonna keep doing this and you ain't gonna do shit about it. You ain't gonna do nothing about it. And that's kind of how I felt about Jimmy and Drew Holiday. And by the way, Drew Holiday is not a good defender. Drew Holiday wasn't a great defender. He's an all-world defender. And for Jimmy Butler to just completely dominate him and say, you ain't gonna do nothing about this. You're just gonna have to take this ass whooping. And he did. I was really hurt over that. Like, man, none of y'all ain't gonna do nothing about this. Not one of y'all. Oh man, I was genuinely hurt about that. I was. I didn't appreciate that at all. I didn't.
Yeah, no, I'm crazy. I was crazy. I don't even. I try to forget about that.
I'm trying to forget the best player in the world, arguably the best player in the world, and you're just gonna let your man just drown like this? Y'all just gonna leave him on the island? I told you, Ox, what I equated it to. It was Rocky. Drago beating the hell out of him. He's gonna kill him, right? You just gonna let that happen? He's gonna kill him. Stop this. He's going to kill him, and they just let it happen.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, Giannis ain't even gonna help his boy. That was cold, but it happened, and we're just gonna keep. You know what that's kind of like for me. It's like when I'm forced to talk about KG trying to guard Dirk. It's like that came up today, and I just kind of just did one of these. Like,
I did see you, Ox, kind of go out of the frame, like like when you in class and the teacher calling people like, don't call on me, please.
Right.
Please don't call me because I don't got nothing to say about this.
I did not study this.
I'll just take the 0. Please don't call me.
Oh, chill. I was like, you know what? Let me just pretend like we're not talking about this right now. But that was crazy. But check it out, y'all. First of all, let me remind y'all, because the time isn't coming. The time, it's not on the way. It is here.
It's Sunday.
It is here.
Mm-hmm.
Press box, Sunday the 20th, 11 a.m. Eastern time. That's 8 a.m. Pacific time. So all you lazy LA niggas, y'all better wake up and go and watch the show. Don't sleep in. Get up and watch the show. We got the press box for you. We got my man Swiper, Bama, and the one and only J-Rob to bring back the press box. Y'all make sure you don't miss it. Talking nothing but good football talk. Football season is right around the corner, y'all. Y'all get ready. Press box is back. Press box is back, y'all.
Looking forward to that show. I am 100% looking forward to that show. I will be tuning into that. Yes, I will.
Definitely will, man. I was happy to see that we're back on the football time, man, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we got that out the way, y'all, let's talk about what just happened yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all seen the title. The Los Angeles Clippers are instant championship favorites.
Mm.
That's just the news going around the world. I'm just here to give y'all the news. I'm just here to report the news, y'all. Chill, I know you don't think that the Clippers are championship favorites, but with the acquisition of Brook Lopez, John Collins, and Bradley Beal, can we all agree that this team has stepped up?
Yes, 100%. He has made them significantly better.
Mm-hmm.
What we completely continue to forget is Bradley Beal is a baller. We completely forget that. Like, Bradley Beal is not a good player. Bradley Beal is a damn good player. And the problem with him and Devin Booker was, though they both do virtually the same thing. I think Devin Booker is better at it, but I think that they do the same thing. So they were ultimately kind of tripping over each other and getting in each other's way. That's not going to happen with the Clippers. One, you got a ball dominant guy in James Harden, who's ball dominant, but in a good way. He's going to get you involved in the game. He's not one of these ball dominant guys who's just shooting all the shots and everybody's just standing around watching him. No, he's still one of the better playmakers in the game. He's still one of the better downhill guys in the game. He will go in there and beat up on your big man, but he'll also get guys like Bradley Beal, Kawhi Leonard. He'll also get them involved in the offense and get them shots where they can be the most productive, whether it's Bradley Beal at the long ball line, whether it's Bradley Beal in the mid-range, in transition on the stop and pop, whether it's getting him on a backdoor cut, because I think some of the offense is going to change. I think he's just what the doctor ordered at the two-guard spot, because I feel like they needed a two-guard who can score, because they had Chris Dunn playing the two-guard. I'm in the minority. I think that Chris Dunn is better on the ball than he is off the ball. I think he's better at the lead guard spot than he is at the two. And now that he's going to be in the rotation, he's going to be one of the he's going to be one of the best backup defensive guards in the game. And I think that's going to be really good for the Clippers. They got 10 guys, if you think about it, with losing Norman Powell. You lose Norman Powell for Brook Lopez and Bradley Beal. You got on their bench, you still got Derek Jones Jr. on their bench. You got
John Collins too.
You still got, and you got John Collins. I mean, they got 10 legit guys, Ox. And
did they hold on to Bogey? Or Bogey's out?
No, Bogey's still there. He wasn't a part of that Miami Heat trade. I don't think so. He's still there. I'm pretty confident that now I know that you weren't really feeling him during the playoffs. There was some stretches where it was probably best that he come off the floor. But I think with this group, I mean, I think that you could get 10, 15 minutes. I think you can get 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes, especially with this group, when you put him in a lineup with him and James Harden. I think it'll work. Yeah, I do think it'll work.
Wow, chill. See, I thought Bogey was gone.
No,
I know I was hard on Bogey in the playoffs, but I'm still on the Bogey side. I'm still supporting Bogey. You know, chill. When we lay it down, I want to talk about this, because you say a lot. The teams of the times of the powerhouse, the times of the bomb squads is over, right? I don't look at this as them trying to have a bomb squad like big name, big three, whatever. Right. I think this is a very well constructed roster.
Sure.
You got Big Zoo. You got John Collins. You got Brook Lopez. You know what I'm saying? You got Brook Lopez. I think the days of him starting at the center, I think that's behind him. I think it's time for him to play less minutes. When I say less minutes, I mean less minutes. I'm talking 12, 15. You know what I'm saying?
I can get 3 more years out of him. If you from what you're telling me, Ox, if you talk like that backup big, I could probably get another 2, maybe 3 more years out of him. Then,
because we know Ty Lue, we know Ty Lue will play John Collins at the 5.
Yes, he will.
You know what I'm saying?
100% he will.
What about Ben Simmons? Is Ben Simmons still
around?
No? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I'm talking about all the right guys.
Yeah.
So when I look at it like that, chill, because nobody better sleep on Nicholas Batum. You know.
At 39 years old, he can still play.
He can still shoot the ball. He can still stretch the floor. He can still put himself in the proper places based on his IQ and his experience. He's played so much basketball over here and over there. Nicholas Batum is a basketball player. He's usually in the right spots. So when we talk about just the guys that are coming off the bench, Nick Batum, Derek Jones Jr., you know what I'm saying? You got John Collins. You got Bogey. I mean, chill. This is I want to talk about this Clippers team without Kawhi Leonard.
I think that, to be honest with you, if I'm looking at the group, so I got Harden at the 1, I got Harden at the 1, I got Beal at the 2, I got Leonard at the 3. I think Collins starts, Ox.
I would start him. I think he should.
I think he starts at the 4, and I think Zubac starts at the 5. And I got Dunn coming off the bench. I got Dunn coming off the bench. Let's see. I got Lopez coming off the bench. I got Derek Jones Jr. coming off the bench. I got Batum coming off the bench. I got Bogey coming off the bench. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. I really feel like I'm forgetting somebody. But like that's I also got Coffee coming off the bench too. I don't want to leave him out.
Please leave him out. Please leave him out.
I know how you feel about Coffee, but yeah. But these are the people that these are the guys that I have to choose from. So, I mean,
Chris Paul still might come around.
Yeah, Chris Paul still might come around. But to your point, yes, on paper it looks like a super team, but James Harden at the 1, Bradley Beal at the 2, I think that works because I feel like James Harden and I feel like Bradley Beal, he can play off of him because Bradley Beal is better off the ball than he is on the ball. With James Harden being the playmaker that he is and the distributor that he is, I think Bradley Beal is he's gonna reintroduce us to him, to how good he used to be, barring health issues, because that's gonna be the most important part. Bradley Beal had a bad back. Leonard, we already know what the story is with his wheel on with his left knee. We already know what that is. Brook Lopez is long in the tooth. So if these guys can stay relatively healthy, if they can stay relatively healthy, I'll be interested to see how this thing works. Really interested.
I don't want to waste no time. Sure, this is my favorite out the West.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, you weren't high on Oklahoma City even this season. You thought that there were some teams that were going to cause some trouble with Oklahoma City. On top of that, I mean, Denver got Valanciunas, who, in your estimation, is the best backup big in the game. I think that Brook Lopez might have something to say about that, even in the limited time that he's playing. I think he's going to have something to say about that. But I think that Denver team is going to be trouble.
Well, that's what I wanted to say right there, Chill. I keep doing that. I don't know why. What's wrong with me? Why I got this mental block and keep forgetting about OKC? I didn't. I was thinking Denver.
I was thinking NBA champion.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? And I didn't mean any disrespect. It just happened. It just happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to put some respect on them young boys. I'm not gonna just write them off. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I didn't mean any disrespect. I just got a mental block.
Hello, sorry, champion over here. Hi, how you doing?
I'm sorry. Right I'm sorry. I apologize, y'all. But so I do want to say it's gonna be one of those three teams. I want to say it's gonna be OKC, Denver, or the Clippers.
I'm not sure if Houston is there yet, but I do think that they're close. I was watching some footage of Evan Mobley in the lab, and I was thinking to myself, because we talk about it all the time with you. When I talk about it all the time with you dudes, where we get wrapped up in acquisitions in the offseason and completely leaving out what teams already have in-house and how it's their job to develop that, and it's their job for these guys to get better. And I feel like I was watching some footage of Evan Mobley and Steven Adams going at it, and I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean when I say getting better. So if Evan Mobley is going one-on-one with Steven Adams and he's scoring, well, that's a confidence booster, because, well, if I'm going to see somebody this physical and I can score on him, there aren't many bigs in the game that I'm going to see that are this physical. There's some physical bigs in the game, but there aren't many bigs that I'm going to see that are this physical. Well, I say the same thing about, in-house talent. So, I mean, this Houston team, I think that they're going to be a lot of trouble. I do. And I think that a guy like Amin Thompson, he's going to be a different player than what we saw last year. I think Jabari Smith is going to be a different player than what we saw last year. Same thing with Tari, right? A lot of these guys, Sengun's going to be different than what we saw last year. We get wrapped up in acquisitions a lot of times and not recognizing the potential of these guys that are already on the roster and what they can be, that it blinds us to what these guys, the acquisitions blind us to what we already have. And I don't want to do that with this Houston team. I'm looking forward to the development of those young guys that they have. They're going to be trouble. They are.
Yeah. Let's tier it. Let me go like a by 3-team tier. I would say OKC, Denver, Clippers. Then I would say Minnesota, Houston, and so that's the first tier right there in my mind. I got the Clippers, OKC, Denver. Then the next tier teams, I would say Houston, Minnesota,
Dallas.
Dallas. We're going Dallas. No Lakers. Dallas. Okay, we'll go Dallas, and then I would say probably then go Lakers.
Golden State.
Yep. Golden State, Lakers, maybe San Antonio.
San Antonio and the Trailblazers.
Let's put the Trailblazers in the next tier, or you want to throw them in that tier?
I want to throw them in that. I want to right in that, because in that third tier, there's a little bit of a gap.
Okay.
There's a little bit of a gap, but I do think that they're in that third tier. I think they're going to be a lot better than what people think that they're going to be. A lot better. I mean, the Vegas got them at 29 wins. They won 36 games last year. I think that I think that they're north of 500 next year, and not significantly further along of 500, but I definitely think that they win more than 36 games. I think they could be 40 if they are north of if they are north of 43 games of 500. It's probably 43 and 43 and 39, something like that. 42 and 41, something like that. That's what I'm thinking about with this Trailblazer team. So I think they're gonna be trouble, Ox. I do.
I think you're a little higher on the Blazers than I am, but I think they're going to be a fun watch. I don't know if they'll be in the playoffs. I think they'll impact the playoffs, though.
Yes.
Based on teams that they'll beat, in February, March. I think they'll impact the playoffs based on that. And I could see them being in the play-in, though, a 9-10 seed or something like that.
That's important to mention too, Ox. What you just said, like I don't think people understand what that means when you say they'll impact the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Like if they were to beat the Clippers or beat OKC in, you know what I'm saying, in late March, that those things will matter. You know what I'm saying? Like with their defense, they could easily have a stretch where they win 10 of 14 games, and they're beating teams, that are good teams, that are second, third, that are fighting for seeding. That's what it is. In the West, it's so close that you're fighting for seeding. You know what I'm saying? So it like I believe last year the 3 through the 7 seed were all decided by 2 games.
That was it, Ox.
You know what I'm saying?
That was it. I mean, last
maybe
year
it was 4 through 7, 6 through
last year, I want to say like a month before the playoffs started, they win 4, then they lose 4, then they win 2, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, lose 1, win 1. So, I mean, that month before the playoffs, there was a stretch where I think they were like 2.5 games out of the play-in. They weren't that far off. So, to your point, I mean, if we're getting late into the season, we got the last month of the season, and they're sitting at number 9. And with them sitting at number 9, them separated, so 9 and let's say 6 are separated by 3 games. They could cause some trouble.
Yeah,
and they got some teams that are ahead of them looking, going, okay, we don't want to screw around with this and let this team in it. We do not have a night off when we got to go up to Portland or when they got to come down here. We don't have a night off. No, yes, I know. I can absolutely get with that in terms of.
I know one thing, Chill. If it's April 6th, and I'm the Los Angeles Lakers, and I'm the 6th seed, and the Dallas Mavericks are the 7th seed, and we're decided by half a game, I don't want to have to go up to Portland.
No. No,
you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Like I don't know, and that can go anyway. I'm not saying they beat the Lakers. I'm just saying that's the type of team that the Trailblazers are to me this year. It's like, damn, I need a guaranteed dub. I don't want to go there. Let's go to Utah.
Let's do that. Instead of having to do that. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that more than anything. I'm feeling that late East Coast trip going to Charlotte as opposed to having to go up to Portland and deal with them dudes. So, yes.
Right. Sure. How about this Joel Embiid situation and where his health is, and the story that's been coming out just about him and his life and everything. What do you think about things like this in sports? Do you think it's important for us as fans to be able to tap into like the private lives of these players and these athletes? Like, what do you think that, like, this particular article, do you think that this is more of a positive look, or do you think this would be like, could this be perceived as poor? Like, what do you think this is about, and how do you feel about it just in general?
Well, we already in it as because we see these dudes off the court, we see these dudes in other places, so we're already involved in their lives. Like, we see these guys out with their wives, we see these guys out with their children, right? We see these guys out and about, and we know how much money they make. We know where the practice facility is. So we already are involved with these people. With that being said, there's such a demand on guys like Joel Embiid. One, when you're making that kind of bread, and two, when you play in a city that's got a history like the Philadelphia 76ers have, and they're expecting you to be a certain way. Well, if you're not that way, you're going to get ridiculed. And one of the things that you have to have when it comes to places like Philadelphia and New York and Boston, boy, your skin better thicken up, and it better thicken up quick, because people are going to get on you. And not only are people going to get on you, they're going to stay on you until you're able to win. So with that being said, I know for a fact that he's having a difficult time with how he's perceived because unfortunately, I can't really dictate injury. I mean, Joel Embiid stays beat up. And I think a lot of it is him thinking that people think he just doesn't want to play. When in the end, all of these dudes want to play. I'm just not physically able to do it. And because I'm not physically able to do it and I'm making a lot of money, people just think that I'm just sitting in my house and I'm just enjoying life. No, I'm a basketball player. I want to play. And the fact that I can't play, it's very frustrating to me. Yes, the money is great, but I still want to play and I still want to prove that I'm one of the best in the world. So I think that this article coming out, I think it's going to be a really good inside look into Joel Embiid and to understand him a little bit more. And I think that we get to understand Joel Embiid is a lot more sensitive than we know. And what I mean when I say sensitive, I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that in a way of a guy wanting to win and wanting people to understand him. So
Yeah, he's human, man. Like
yeah.
I don't understand why people get low rated or be rated anyway for wanting people to like them. You know, like shit. Like when we do the panel and stuff like that, and I know there used to be times we have guys that come on and be like, "Oh man, I'm not thinking about y'all," or whatever. I do this and I go home. Like I'm not that type of person. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been on teams and things all my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not always super talkative, but I like to meet people. I like to be liked. I would prefer that y'all want me around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like I can understand where somebody that's in such the public eye, like Kevin Durant or Joel Embiid, you know what I'm saying? It's like they respond to things or they might react to things. It's like, bro, that's a human being. Y'all, we and they're in the public eye, and we talk about these people all the time. So I can understand you wanting to humanize yourself and put it out there. Like, man, this is who I am. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm trying. It's like it seems like a lot of times people are gonna down talk you for trying or caring or just wanting to be liked. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's kind of weird. Like, do you want everybody to be like an asshole athlete? Like, because no, it's pretty much a lose-lose, right? It's like it's a lose-lose. If this person is the type of guy that's like kids come up and talk to him like, I don't want to talk to nobody, I'm just straight and narrow, then they're gonna be like, oh, he's a jerk, don't like that guy, he doesn't care about the fans. But then if you come out and talk like that, it's all, he's a weenie, he's a crybaby.
Can't win for
care
losing.
about what people think about you, you know. So it's a tough one. That's why I asked that, because it's just kind of tough on these guys. Like, what do you do? How do you find balance in being a superstar?
Like this guy Carter Bryant in the chat right now. Joe just wants sympathy. So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to walk 10 years from now. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know because the way my body is put together, what I put my body through to play in the NBA, I might not be able to walk. And yes, 10 years from now, that might be a problem. 15 years from now, that might be a problem. Don't think for 1 second that Kawhi Leonard, with all the injuries that he's had, has not sat down quietly with some people that are around him and cried or been emotional about not being able to go.
Right.
Because 100% he has. This is what I've been doing since I was 12 years old. Now all of a sudden I can't run like I used to. I can't jump like I used to. And these people out here saying that I suck. These people out here saying that I'm stealing money. You think that doesn't affect him? You think that he doesn't hear that? He 100% hears that. And it does affect him.
Of course it affects. It's your life. Chill, I've been there. I've been there for sure. I've definitely been there. I was when I tore my knee up the second time, I was trying to get back. I'm trying to get back right now. The first time I'm like, okay, it's cool. But the recovery was so hard. I was like, man, this is crazy. Did it again, and I had a breakdown. Like, I was crying. Like, this is crazy. Like, I know the way my knee is set up at that point these years ago. I'm like, it's no way I could get through a whole season like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm damaged goods. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. So you got to imagine these guys that are going through that in the public eye. And you got to hear people like me say things like, oh man, he's a bum. You know, like that's terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're an emotional guy, like, that's terrible. You did have to deal with that type of stuff. And people read comments too, and it's just like there's people out here that are just ruthless, man, ruthless. So I feel for Joel Embiid because you gotta. It's a balance. Like, do I keep trying to play? And if I do keep trying to play on it, am I ruining my body for the future? Or do I, but I can't give up. I love this sport. So it's hard, man. I think Joel Embiid's in a tough situation, and I think that has a lot to do with why he went to the Olympics this last year.
Which was a mistake, but I understand it.
It was a mistake in the long run, but at the same time, it's like shit. At least I could do is go get a gold medal. I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's that. Let's see about a couple of these super chats. We got one from In Your Box 683. Who does Cason Wallace remind you of? To me, it's Avery Bradley. Love listening to both of you talk defense because you value it. Have a good day. Appreciate you.
Well, I haven't really been able to put my finger on it, but I like his two-way ability. I think he's just going to get better. I haven't really thought about who he reminds me of yet, more than I'm just trying to figure out what kind of player he's going to be. Because on the one hand, like I look at the defense from Cason Wallace, but on the other hand, I also look at how he finishes in transition. I look at how he's able to knock down the three, and that's just going to get better. So, I mean, it's gonna take me a little bit, but I haven't really put my finger on who he reminds me of. But I do know this is run for him. And he wasn't great in the playoffs. He showed his age, but he's another one who in Oklahoma City is going to get better.
Yeah. Shout out to Cason Wallace. Alan R. Celtics are getting Cam Boozer next year. Trust.
I wouldn't be surprised, Joe.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Alan, I believe it. I'm with you on that, dog. Cam Boozer to Boston. Speaking into existence, Shaw. Let's get these guys. We got a couple of them in the lobby. Let's start with my man, big fan Breezy. Breeze, what's up?
What up?
Good one, man. Love the show. I just wanted to ask, because y'all got the title, the Clippers are the favorite. Who replaces Terrence Mann perimeter defense?
Terrence Mann is in Charlotte.
Nah, he with us.
He in Brooklyn now with you guys?
Yeah, no, I confused it too. That's Trey Mann in Charlotte.
Trey Mann, I'm sorry. Okay, so Terrence Mann he was with the Clippers. So who's replacing? So I don't think that they value his defense as much as they value Chris Dunn's defense. So maybe if it was a choice between both him and Chris Dunn, who they'd rather part ways with, they'd rather part ways with Terrence Mann than they would with Chris Dunn. Because I mean, if we being honest, Terrence Mann, after what he did to Rudy that one game, like what else have we seen from him since then? We haven't really seen much from him. So because of that, I mean, I think that Chris Dunn is a little bit more valuable than with what they're trying to do. Way more valuable.
The last thing I wanted to say, because I was just enjoying the conversation that y'all was having, is the social media is intricate or integral on how they communicate with the fans. You know what I'm saying? At one time, there was no communication with the fans. It was ESPN. It was, you know what I mean? And that was it. So now that's kind of, these social media is like a conduit to speak straight to the fans. I do feel like they sometimes over-engage, you know what I mean? But to your point, Ox, some of them could be empaths. You know what I'm saying? Some could take that negativity and you know what I mean, go the wrong way with it. But my last question is this. Fans are going to be fans. But what about the big media like Stephen A. Smith and how he handles situation? Now, I mentioned him to say, I think in his soliloquies, he should be sensitive to athletes who get injured because from what it seems, he could have made the league had he not caught an injury in college. Now,
I would have thought that too.
So, I mean, do you think that the players should expect, probably a little unprofessionalism or lack of maturity from the fans, but should expect big media personalities to show more professionalism and consideration to, you know what I mean, maybe an injury or something?
I'm sorry. Breezy, don't think for 1 second that these media dudes who never really panned out. There's not some sour grapes there. Why you think they talk the way that they do in the media? It's some sour grapes with some of these dudes. Yes, it is. And because they got the voice that they have, they have this tendency to try to big time you and not recognize that, a lot of us, we know how you guys are and how you guys think. And that could very well be the case. Very well be the case.
Chill. This is my last question, but I didn't hear y'all say. I missed a few player choice episodes, so I know y'all probably spoke on it. And shout out to Big Ox. He's really great with WNBA. I just wanted to say, I thought it was a very unprofessional that RG3 said what he said about Angel Reese. And you know what I'm saying? I just thought that, he could have took a different approach. And that's kind of what I was saying. Oh, to your point about Embiid and how they listen, to your point, Chill, he's somebody that didn't pan out because of an injury. And maybe he's a sour grape in that situation.
100% he is. And also with that being said, and I'm going to be honest with you, Fan Breezy, that was a sucker move from him. It was.
Sure.
That was 100% a sucker move from him to say something like that and to post something like that. That was 100, and he deserves every bit of backlash that he gets because of that. Because it's a difference between being critical of somebody like we are and being disrespectful like he was. Those two things are not the same. And he deserves every bit of backlash that he gets. Every bit.
Shout out to Shaq. Shaq said, you heard what Shaq said. I
did hear what he said, and I'm 100% back him on that. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I'm in the chat, man. Y'all already know I enjoy the show, man. Love y'all.
Breezy. You know what I agree. Yes,
All right. Yeah, definitely. Some things are just better off left alone. Better off left alone. Let's keep it moving real quick. I know it's a short show today, so we're really going to get a couple more of y'all up. But y'all know how we go. Ladies first. Let's get Shamaria up here.
What's
Shamaria, what's up? Dear. Hello, dear.
It's been a while since I've talked to you, Chill. Oh my god.
What's up?
Questions about the WNBA. Then I gotta dive deep into my Memphis bag. But y'all, I kind of heard y'all talk about it earlier. A'ja Wilson could possibly have I think that she still got a case for MVP, despite the record looking as bad as it is. But there's another girl that I feel like that should be getting a ton of shine, and that's Alicia Gray over there in Atlanta, averaging almost 20 points, shooting 39% from behind the arc, having one of her best 3-point shooting seasons. Just overall thoughts on her play and how great she's been this season. If I'm not mistaken, Atlanta Dream are currently second in the league record-wise and things like that. But yeah, do you think that she should be in MVP combos with the Nafisas, Alyssas, and Asias?
I think Atlanta, as of today, I think they're fifth in the league behind.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I think they're fifth behind Seattle right now. But I mean, let's not make it look like with what Alicia is doing that doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. Because if you take Alicia off of what they're doing. I mean that 19-4, that 19-5-4, take that off the crew. They probably at the bottom of the league, right? So I mean, she's a pretty big deal in what it is that they're trying to do. I thought that, to be honest with you, I thought that their big girl. Why am I drawing a blank on her name? Brianna Jones is making an all-star team this year. I thought that's good. Yes. Yeah, she's a replacement. They had another big girl down there that. I thought that they were going to be better.
They got Brittany Griner.
They ended up. Brittany's over the hill. Let's be honest. I think the best we've seen the best of Brittany, but this Atlanta Dream, they're gonna be trouble in the playoffs. Let's be clear about that, Shamara. They are going to be trouble in the playoffs. I like the fact that Alicia Gray, we don't give her enough credit for the bucket getter that she is, right? We don't give her enough credit for how hard-nosed she is on the other side of the ball. She ain't Kelsey Plum on the defensive end. No, she is not.
Right.
She will play defense, and she will compete on the defensive end. So I do like that about her, 100%.
Well, you got to remember though, because Alicia, she kind of been under the radar though too. I mean, she got one with A'ja. You know what I'm saying? Back in South Carolina. She been a baller. You know what I'm saying? I just think she's been under the radar she's been in the league for 7 seasons now? 7, 8. You You know, she came in. I think she came in 16, if I'm not mistaken. So you know, she's been doing it, but I think she's been under the radar a lot. I think when they got Ryan Howard over there, and then this year bringing Breezy over there, I think it kind of just shored the team up. I wouldn't. I could see her having a case to be, you know, get some votes. She's not gonna, you know, really get serious talks, but I think she deserves praise. Like, she's been playing really good, shooting the ball very well, and I think she's the missing link. Like, well, not the missing link because she was there first, but you know what I'm saying. When you add Breezy to the team and all that, I think that just stirs it up. And I mean, we definitely should talk about her a little more than we do.
100% agree. And then I also got to talk about my Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know if you're high on us, low on us regarding next season. Where do you think we are? Where do you think
Shamara, unfortunately, is not gonna love this. Yeah, she's not a, and that's a dope picture of Penny, by the way.
Thank you.
I got Memphis on the outside looking in next year because I think the Western Conference is going to be a nightmare. I think that last season was evident. I literally had this conversation with Miles earlier today that, I mean, we had 3 teams win 49, 48, and 48 games, make the playoffs. So it's not ridiculous to think that, you know, we could have all 8 teams win 50 games this year, and we could have a 45-win team miss the playoffs. I think that could happen. With that being said, I just think that with this Memphis team, the steps that need to be taken for them to be better, they're not happening like they should. Like what Oklahoma City is, this is what Memphis should have been. Like, Jalen Wells is a rook. Okay, I get that part. But Jaren Jackson, like, I need to see the consistency from him. There was a stretch where he was playing as well as he could possibly play, and then it dipped. Ja can't stay healthy. Gigi Jackson, I think, is going to be much better this year. I saw him in the summer league, and I think he's going to be healthy. I think that Zach actually takes I think he takes a leap this year from last season. He understands the game a little bit more, but I just feel like the Western Conference has just gotten so much better, and I think that it's possible that some teams come regular season have passed you guys, unfortunately. And there are no nights off in the Western Conference. So you had that bad stretch like in the end of February and March where like y'all did. At one point, y'all was the number 2 seed after the All-Star break. We go from being the number 2 seed to being a playing tournament. How the hell we get here? So I just think it's not because your team is bad. I just think the Western Conference has just gotten so much better, and the injuries that Memphis has had, I think that's thrown a monkey wrench in everything that you guys have been trying to do.
Mario, are y'all gonna be better than us this year?
The Kings?
Yeah.
I think we do. I think one thing to actually look forward to is obviously the new coach that we have. I think that the offense ran last year did not at all whatsoever benefit Ja, and I do think that Ja Morant is in due for having one of that 27 point per game season like he had a couple years ago. So I think that we'll see more of an explosive Ja Morant next season, which I think will just open up more opportunities for the Grizzlies. I also see an increase in production from Jalen Wells on both sides of the floor. Jaren Jackson and I would agree with Chill. I think it's just a matter of Jaren just being more consistent on the offensive end of the ball. But I think we definitely gonna finish higher than the Kings.
Okay, for sure. All right, Mario, appreciate you pulling up as always.
Good to talk to you, dear. Good to talk to you. Absolutely, no doubt.
All right, y'all. If you're in the lobby and you didn't get pulled up, I do apologize. Y'all know it's Thursday. It's a shorter day. We had a lot of things to get to. And Claire just don't play that. I got the time and I got to stick to it.
Claire,
so,
right there.
You know what I'm saying? But as you know, we will be back on Saturday at noon Eastern. So just pull up, click the link. I'm always going to send the link out there. So you just make sure you click it. All right. Do that. Come up here and let's talk some ball. In the meantime, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back on the panel tomorrow. Chill with Chill again on Saturday. And then the press box on Sunday. Don't miss the press box. If you consider yourself a football fan, a football guy, a football girl, a football liker, lover, whatever, come watch some good football talk. It's right here. Y'all know where to find it. You have no excuse. No excuse. So look, if I see you outside and you wasn't watching the press box, it's going to be me and you.
Uh-oh.
Watch the show.
You don't want Ox shaking you because he's going to get all of that dough out. You don't want that. You don't want that. But we will see you guys soon, though. Glad you guys are able to to join us today. We really appreciate it. We'll see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? I got to call my mother today, as a matter of fact. We got something to talk about. So call your mother. And if you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, hit my boy up. He got you. He'll make sure that you get to where you're trying to go. So we will see you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. Good to see you guys today. No doubt.
All right, y'all. Catch y'all next time. See us on Saturday. Click the link. I'm going to bring it out there. Peace.
Later.